record. All right. Oh, let me share my screen. Okay, back to where we were. Okay, so I'm going to select each of these items because when I tried to select all three, it didn't give me that option. Oh, excuse me. It didn't give me that option to replace the color. So I'm just going to select one at a time. Starting from the bottom, going to replace the color. Let's say I wanted it that one. And in this one, you don't have to do exactly the color I'm doing. You can change it to whatever your heart desires. All right. So let's say that we were sold. This was it. Our supervisor said, yay, we love it. Submit it. Great. I'm going to now use the rest of our time together to show you all the more of the tools by let's make this from scratch. Okay. So I'm going to go, let me think of the best way to do this. Yes.
We started with an existing template.
Right.
Is it a certain size? Is it designed for 8.5 by 11?
Yes, it'll show you. So before we do this, ignore that. You're still here. I'm just going to show you. You don't have to follow me on this. Over here, you have your templates, right? And we searched art class flyer. So the flyer is going to come by an 8.5 by 11. That's the flyer thing. But if I searched art class postcard, it'll come up in a different size already. So if you're creating from scratch, like if you're starting with the size and you're saying, look, I know that I want it to be this size. I have a vision. I want it to be purple and have this and blah, blah, blah. You won't start from templates. You'll start from the plus button, the create button. And it'll still show you all these templates. And on the side, what are you using it for? You can do custom size. So we had a Van Gogh event that we had a custom size poster we were going to print with Tyco. So that's where I popped in custom size. I put in and you can do it by pixels, by inches, by centimeters. I mean, that's where it can be overwhelming, but it is user friendly. So then it'll show you, because Instagram has specific sizes. Like Facebook is way easier about it. That's why I like to have Instagram in my primary focus, because it's more specific as far as sizing and things like that. So I'll make it for Instagram and then share it everywhere. Because it's the worst whenever you work so hard or something and it doesn't fit in the box. And you can ask AI to resize it for you, or there's probably other websites that can do it. But anyway, so yeah. So, and then you can even say like brochure, type it in, and then it has brochure landscape, brochure portrait, and all these different things. So that's a sizing, but let's pretend that we started from here and pressed create flyer, and it opened us up to a new thing.
Wait, did you get to that?
This one?
To the blank, to the.
I haven't yet.
Oh.
I'm not gonna take that route. I'm gonna do it this way so that we can have our
Play around with tools.
yeah, play around with tools, and we can have our goal like finished look right in front of us instead of having to go back and forth between tabs. So everybody's going to start within this project, and you're going to click at the bottom, add page. And that's going to give you that blank page. Yes, it still has the same color as the one before, which is nice. And again, this duplicate button. So for our calendar, which I believe is on the door. I don't know if we have one here, but it's recurring, right? Like I'm making it every month. So instead of starting from scratch every month, I'll go to that project that I had and I'll press that duplicate at the top right here. I'll press that duplicate page, and then I'll change April to May and all the Mondays to Tuesday or whatever it may be. And that saves me a lot of time, but we're not doing that.
Format.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
possibly. Yeah. Well, I was doing a content calendar the other day to try to plan out our April, because we have so much going on, which is great, but
Just typing.
yep,
80,000 different.
it will, but the thing is, it doesn't update. I've yet to find the update for every, like it'll automatically kind of switch over the days. I still have to go in and type
Well, it still gives you the box.
for sure. And I'll show you, I'm going to go to my projects. This is actually good to know. Oh wait, Sharon, don't look. I have a surprise for you coming up. Um, so these are all the things that I'm working through, and you can see that I started, I'll click this. I started this calendar to tell me, so I'm making sure I'm staying on top of Baka social media. And this is actually good for anybody that's wanting to do social media for their business or brand. I have my calendar template that on the side it has the content type, whether it's an artist spotlight, a trivia fun fact, meet the artist. This is event, program, or workshop promotion, etc. And then I have the color so that when I take a quick look, which I'm about to show you, you're gonna think I'm a crazy person, but when I take a quick look, I can kind of see like, oh, I'm not posting enough reels because this is now getting into social media, but whatever, we're here to learn everything. So
Is that I think it's loaded.
this is my
Why?
this is my general template that I'll keep inside this project so that any month I'm going
But
from.
it's not like, it doesn't record, you can't save.
Oh, right. No, it's not like Google Calendar. Right, exactly. Nope. Yeah. Because, and I thought about that too, but I was like,
This is just like a printed out. page.
exactly. Yeah. So if I scroll down, I'll show you April's.
Oh, wow.
And if I take a quick look, all the purple is socials post, which is fine. I mean, that's a great way to, get information out there. Our biggest demographic age segment is 55 to 65, and they like more infographic and information there. But we have a growing segment of 25 to 35, and they like more social reels, which is the short videos on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, but we don't really anyway. And then we also have the yellow, which is longer videos, YouTube's. A little tip trick of the social media business is make one thing and then cut it up into 7 other things. So I'm making the one YouTube video of our artist spotlight. That's like a 3-minute sort of video, which is too long for social media. People, I mean, you'll be lucky if people watch all the way through. You have a really great video then. But then I'll take little highlights and clips of it that'll be like 10 seconds long, and then I'll make those into 20 reels. Then I have a month
Make
worth of
this page
content to
bigger.
pump out. But that's not today. This is like, in 3 months we'll all come back and you'll all come and tell me I have a content calendar created. But for now, I just wanted to give you that little, because we got a little tangent, but I don't want you to feel like, okay. So
I'm still trying to figure out how to add.
so let's go back to that.
Export, say that.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we still have an hour and 15. Let's regroup. We'll go back to our like how to do this from scratch demo. It is different on phones.
You should have.
Okay, so what I selected it. I did the 3 dots on each side and I saved that. Okay. Linda, were you able to add page on your phone?
Gave up on. It's not okay, you can do this on.
Oh no, did we lose? Did we lose a person?
Yeah, no, I think you can make edits on a phone.
I hope not because of me. Anyway, don't take it personally. Okay. Woo. We have our added page. Okay. And again, this is all recorded, so we'll be able to review at your own pace and your own time. Okay. So we added the page. It did take the same color from our previous page, which is fine. But let's say we were fully starting from scratch. I just want to show you how I would do this. I would select the whole page as a whole, go to that color, which we've done a couple times now, and then find the color I want it to be. And we'll just stick with this one for now. Okay. Now, okay. Put that away. So we're a blank page, excuse me, starting fresh, and we do want it to look like this. Like, let's say that the designer said, hey, I need you to actually make the flyer, but I want it to look like this, which doesn't happen, but let's just pretend. Okay. I'm going to start with the text. Hi, welcome.
Okay.
Yay! Oh, hero!
Who just came in?
Linda's hero just came in with her iPad, so she can continue on.
Oh.
This is awesome. I'm having so much fun. Everybody else having fun? All right, so I'm gonna start by building the text and then we'll build everything around it. So I'm gonna go back to our blank page. I'm gonna click text over to our side or bottom bar, depending what device you're working on. And I'm gonna click add a heading. This way it'll already come up big. All right, it's harder to lose that way. And then I'm just gonna type right into it. What do we call it? April camp. April camp. Okay. Um, if we look, it's clearly not the right font. Okay. And it's not the right color. Since we've been working on color, we'll do that first. I'm gonna click the box, go up to this little A with the rainbow line underneath it, text color, and I'm gonna click that vivid pink we have. All right. And I'm gonna click out of this. Is everybody here or near? Here or near? Okay. So now I'm gonna go change the font. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna go up and see what it is. It'll save us all a lot of time. I'm gonna click this. Oh yeah, remember how I locked it? So now I've got to unlock it to get any details about it. So I'm gonna unlock it and then this bar comes up at the top. I'm gonna scroll over to font and it is called Feeling Passionate. Lovely. All right. So I'm gonna you don't have to do that part. I was just kind of discovering what it was called so that I can show you that when we click this, I'm gonna go to where it says Canva Sans, which is the font. And the good thing is it's always in this spot. So you will start to develop a sort of muscle memory of like where the font is, where the color is, and things like that. Okay. Gonna click font. I'm gonna pretend that it's not in my like recents so that I can show you how to search for it. I'm gonna go here. Again, quick sidebar, because I just want to give you as much information as possible. You could just type like, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll go Google. Like the other day, I was trying to make a flyer that was kind of a Western vibe, and I just Googled list fonts that are Western or cowboy-like. And then I got a bunch of, things that I would go here to then search. So let's say that I went and searched, give me fonts that give artist vibes, whatever. And then it said, oh, what's it called? Feeling passionate? Feeling passionate. So I'd go to the search bar, I'd start searching feeling passionate. Look, it pops right up. Sometimes a bunch of them will pop up that's similar, which is fun to play with. And the font could take you an hour. I mean, really, you could be here looking for an hour. So we got that. Boom. Beautiful. Now we have another text box underneath that, right? That's more clear and which is nice because you want people to know the date and time and have no question about it, especially with numbers. These fonts can get crazy. I'm going to unlock this so I can see that it is in Poppins font. I'm going to go here, back to our page, right? We have nothing. You could, yeah. But we're pretending that we don't have the other page, right? But yes, you could. Like, let's say you were making, one for every month and you wanted it to be very similar, but just change the outside to Easter eggs or whatever. Totally. But we're pretending that we're making this from scratch. So I'm going to go back to text. I'm going to add a subheading because we want it to be big, but not as big. And then I'm going to type in what Mondays and Fridays. And I'm going to press return. So it's a new line. 3 to, or what do we say? 10 to 12 p.m. All right. Now, obviously, that's not going to work. They're on top of each other. So I'm going to go and drag that new text box down. And then I'm going to the font. And I'm going to search Poppins. Boom. Now let's say that I didn't know what font I wanted. and this is where it could take like an hour. I would click it, I would go to the font, and it would come up like this, and I could just scroll through all of them. And it does give you a little idea, but you'll be surprised that you'll be like, oh, that looks good. And then you click it and you're like, oh, that does not work. And so you kind of get, that's where you get to play. Okay, but we have Poppins there. I don't think I did all the. Oh, but look, it looks different. Why, anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess?
Bold.
Yes, very good, Jeanette. 10 points for Jeanette. We have bold is selected up here. And so I'm going to deselect that so that it looks like our goal here. Oh, and we forgot the address. So I'm going to go back in, put the address 1004 Main Street, Branford, CT. You don't really need like CT 06405. I usually just leave it at Branford, but for the sake of this. Okay. Let's just go through quickly what these buttons do so that you know. Okay. So we have the font, which we played with. We have the font size, which we played with. We have the color. Now, what you're probably used to if you've used Google Docs or Word document or anything of like that, Pages. Oh, sorry. Can you guys see over here? You have your bold, italicized, underlined, strike through. Rarely use the strike through. I usually do that for my to-do list, but if you find a way to use it for flyer, great. This button here with the small a and the big A, I love because sometimes I want something to be all caps. Instead of having to go and retype it, I can just click the text box, click that button, and click the whole text box, click that button, and all of it is caps. Or all of it is normal. And I really love that. Okay. Then we have the alignment. This is where you can have it all go to the left of the box, centered, or to the right, which everyone should be familiar with different, things.
Kaylee, what's the one before that the capitalization? You skipped that one.
Oh,
After-
strike through.
What is it?
A strike through.
Oh, a strike through. Okay.
Yeah, I very rarely use that except for a to-do list. Like if I want to know that I did it or I share it with someone, that's actually really good in marriages. You have a to-do list and you want to share it with your partner and you want them to know that you did that thing. You leave it on the list, but you strike through it. That's actually a very good point, Bob. Yes, when you're postponing something or something's been changed, instead of changing the whole flyer, which can confuse people, you can actually use the same flyer and just go strike through that thing and then have like new date announced soon or something like that. That's a great point. Thank you for that. Okay, so then next is the list. This is if you'd want to make it into a to-do list or, numbers or something like that. Now, because I just did that, you see how it all went to the left now? I'm going to go back to the alignment button and fix that by putting it back in the middle. Okay, this next one is really fun and can be used for so many different things. Everything that we just went through is mostly, oh wait, I skipped one, sorry. This is advanced settings. This I do use actually sometimes, that the letter spacing or line spacing. What is it called?
Kerning.
Kerning. Beautiful, thank you for that. It's called kerning.
It tightens the letters between, the spaces between the letters, like if you
Yep.
have an A next to an I, and you have that big gap.
Yeah,
It's called kerning.
or the lines in between
Or the lines in between.
the space. So sometimes I'm like, God, it's like taking up this whole section. So what I'll do is I'll go to line spacing and I'll scroll it to the left a little bit. And you see how it bunched it up more? And then letter spacing, if I'm like, you can make it, but that, who can read that? So then I go back. So you can play with that. And sometimes I'll be sitting with Mary and I'm like, God, something's just not working on this design, and a little touch up like that can be like, oh, that just fixed it. I don't know what it was. It was just something visual. So it's very, very fun to play with. So back to this transparency button. This is not, I don't use it for text that often, but I do use it for images and elements and like layering things. Like for this, for example, this flyer for the April camp. I'm so glad you had these out, by the way. This is really helpful. You see how it looks like a little like fade in to this oh, let me show Jeanette. Sorry, Jeanette.
Okay.
Can you see it? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So it has this like fade in here. I had to use what I'm about to show you, this tool, to make it to where it wasn't this like big pink block in front of this. So what I did was I had the transparency go down. And you could even do it with text. I mean, look at that. It's a little bit less like in your face, but it's still there. So I like that tool a lot. It comes in handy when you're like, if you ever see something that you're like, how did they do that? It's usually the transparency tool. Okay. So then we have where it gets kind of fun, the effects. This is where you can do everything you see here. So if you're going for like you're doing a robotics club and you want to do a flyer for it for the kids, and maybe you want to use glitch to make it more like robotic-y, or a neon sign. This would be great if I was having a club night and I wanted, it was all girls night or something, and I was like, come down to my bachelor party or something like that. Or outline if you want to make it pop out more with different colors, things like that. I use lift a lot because some of these other ones, especially for the 55 to 65 segment, is just too much going on. It's too hard to read and it just takes away from the flyer. Oh yeah, right? Yeah. So then down here, what Sharon just said, she loves the curve. Maybe this is not a good, I'm gonna do it with April Camp instead of the dates. Click curve. And this is fun because you can do it over your logo. You could do, there's so much. And you can actually play with this to where you see how it has the little bar at the bottom underneath curve. I don't know if everybody can see that because it's a little low. Let's try to scroll up. You can make it go curve up, curve down, things like that. So that's fun, right? So even with just the text tool, right? There's so many tools within that tool that really I encourage you to just play. Like if you get frustrated, take a walk. I gotta do it too. Like I've literally had to go from that little back room to here to just be around humans and not the screen. But it is like once you start playing with it and you do find these little things, it gets exciting and then you want to do more.
Else is more.
Yeah, yes. So there's more within effects that like uses other third-party apps that I don't even use, so we're not going to get into that. But over here by Animate, I'm not going to go through all this just because this is now going to turn it into a video. I'm now exploring this so that it can be more visually engaging on social media, so that it's not just a flyer that you're posting. Now the words are hopping in. And so when you're scrolling and you're seeing all these videos and then you just see a flyer, it's really easy to skip. But if you scroll and it's still a video and it's just your flyer, but it now feels alive, it feels more engaging, and then now you have likes and comments, and Instagram thinks more people want to see you, and now you have more people showing up to your workshop. So that's maybe we could do
It's also heavy. It's
another
also-
series. Like, yeah, it does take up more of your storage, which is a whole
Go out at Dune.
another piece of it. But if you have a Google Drive, which this is a whole nother like sort of piece of the class, but it does, yeah, you have to find ways to get around stuff like that. Okay, and then position is key. This one's key. I'm gonna skip over animate because we're not gonna do that today. But position is key because let me show you up here. We're gonna, you don't have to do this, you can just watch this part. Somebody let me know when it's 11:30, please. Okay. Let's say that I wanted this, what did we call it? Palette, thank you. Behind everything to make it pop, right? Now, clearly we can't read the words. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my transparency button and make it a little bit less, right? And we could play with that. But the reason I brought it over here is because if it's in the wrong position, and a lot of times, which I'm about to show you, I just want to explain this button first. It'll come up like this. When you click the element, it'll just pop into your page. And you may say like, oh no, like I wanted it behind there, whatever. That's why position is your best friend. You can click all the way to the back and send it to the back immediately. Or you can click backward one at a time if you want it, let's say behind that, but over the title for whatever reason or whatever, you can play with that. Okay, so I'm gonna send it to back. I'm gonna put it back in its spot.
It's layers, right?
Right, exactly. This is where you get into the more graphic design aspect of Canva, where like again, you could just use it simply and kind of use it like pages and just do typing, but then you can really play with it and do like, the foreground and layer, and you can really make a whole, I mean, it has a lot of potential. Okay, so back to our thing. I'm going to undo the effects that I did here to show that. Okay, move that down back where it was. And let's put our logo back in. Does anybody remember how to get to the logo? Any guesses? It's a safe space. Uploads, yes, Bob. Then you go to uploads. And this is where, and another time, you'll take your time to upload your own stuff.
So I'm in this, but how do I get back to where I find uploads?
Let me see.
It should be the bottom menu, or you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I had something over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're learning, see?
This is good. Just
Okay.
quick.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and find Baka again. And I'm gonna move that there. Again, I'm just gonna repeat myself here. Like on the top, it says BG remover. It wants you to pay for pro things like, oh, we can take the background off of your logo, which you may be thinking like, oh yeah, because I hate that white square it's on, or some people like it and whatever. However, you can do that for free. It is, you would go to, it's a whole another website, but you just remove background free and things like that. I'm just saying, my point in bringing that up is to say that you don't need Canva Pro. And if you use Google or ChatGPT or whatever device you like to use, you can figure out a way to do it for free. So don't spend your money on Canva Pro, in my opinion. Okay. We have that there, and we need, oh, this is we good. We need the see you there, right? We don't have that on our new one. What I'm going to do is it's in the same font as my April camp. So like, let's just pretend that we didn't have the goal, right? And we're coming up with this as we go. Oh, what if we had see you there written at the bottom and it matched April camp title? Perfect. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to click April camp. I'm going to press my handy dandy duplicate button. A little square with a plus. Boom. Now I have 2 April camps. I'm going to drag down 1 April camp to the bottom. Click in it and retype see you, you there, exclamation point. Questions about that? Cool, right? April camp, see you there. And it's like a little sandwich. And as I play with it, because I didn't go to school for design or I went to school for psychology, but as I play with this, I pick up on, and I don't know if this is like an every person thing or just creative thing, but I pick up on things that like, oh, it looks nice when there's like 2 similar things and something in between breaking it up, or, oh, this going with this. So you'll find your own, as you are developing your brand, you'll find what works for you. And that's why I said stop me at 11:30, because I do want to just show you, I know it's not technically an artist on social media, but I do want to show you how you can see what's working for you and what's not. So you can see like, oh, I should be doing more of these kind of posts and stuff like that.
Sorry to show all those tools, just one at a time.
Yeah. So this is,
So
yeah.
I think you need a space between Branford, Connecticut and see you there. They're too jumbled. And when
Okay.
I look at the original, there's more space. Yeah, there you go.
Better? Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm actually glad you said that. So we just went through a lot of text tools. Now I'm going to show you elements. Okay. Elements here. This is where I don't want you to get overwhelmed. One thing at a time. Exactly. So click elements. Is it scrolled all the way to the top? Okay. Ignore the recently used. Pretend that that's not there. I'm going to search in elements because again, let's say we're starting from scratch. I'm just going to search art supplies.
How about QR code?
Hold on. Hold your horses, one thing at a time. Art supplies return, right? Now, this is where it comes up. You have graphics, photos, 3D. We're not going to get into that today. That's in the level of animate and like turning things into a video. You can spin stuff around. That'll be 2.0. We'll have one in the fall, maybe. I don't know. I'll talk to you. Mock-ups, which I've never really used. Frames, super helpful. If you want to get a photo in somehow, like they have a frame that looks like an easel. So if you want to put a picture of yourself like this, like on an art class, you can put your photo in the easel frame. So frames is just where you're going to put your photo, and they're shaped in a bunch of different ways. Videos and audio. So we're going to ignore everything. We're going to go to graphics, and we're going to press see all. Graphics is what you'll use the most in your elements and what you'll see the most in the templates. It's any of the sort of drawn little elements or sketched things or et cetera, what you see here.
Change the color.
Most of them you can. Very rarely I'll find one that I really like that's not Canva Pro, so it's free and I get it, and then I go to change the color and it doesn't have the, like, because I guess whoever created the element, right, it's copyright, I don't know, has some sort of rule where it doesn't change. So let's say I wanted this, and you see how some of them, like this one, would go perfect for a corner. Uh-oh. Sorry, Jeanette, I might run out on you again, but we'll see.
Oh, that's
I'll just
okay.
send you another link afterward. Okay. This one's perfect for the corner. Like that could go there, but it's pro. So there's so many different options you can do. But we're gonna kind of copy what we have here. And so I'm gonna click on, let's see, this paintbrush here. Okay. And it doesn't have to be the same one. If you find one that's different that you want to use, that's fine too. It comes up in the middle. You see how it's already behind everything, but it's on top of that baka. So we could fix that with what button if we wanted to. Position. Yep. Layers, position. Okay. So I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to drag it out here on purpose. Now, do you see how it says danger zone on my screen here? It has like the whole border lit up and says danger zone at the top. That's letting me know that, hey, this little part of your image is going to get cut off. If that's a QR code, that's bad news. Okay. Yeah, or a phone number. So that's something to pay attention to. Now I'm doing this on purpose. I don't mind if this is cut off because I just want it to be halfway in the frame like we talked about. But I just wanted to point that out so that if that is something to pay attention to if it is an element that you want fully on the page. Okay. We talked about how to change the color. How do I change this color to baka? Anyway, up at the top. That's right. Our 3 color circles here. I'm gonna click here and you may think you want a color and then, oh, whoopsies. Make that black maybe. And then this one, whatever, right? It's just for now. All right, so let's say we did that and we filled the whole,
You can rotate those too and flip them.
oh yeah. So let's do just on the element. Once it's selected, you can click edit. We'll start like just like we did for the text. I'll go left to right. You can click edit. This is where it'll try to throw a lot of pro stuff at you that you may already have in your arsenal in another way. So just keep that in mind. And you may want to give it a quick Google of like, can I remove background for free or whatever? Something that's really cool actually. Well, I'll do that in a second. So you can add filters here. I mean, I rarely use this because usually the element is fine on its own. But I suppose if you were adding a photo of yourself or something and wanted it to match the style of the flyer, let's actually do that. But
Give you a test and see if you can make a paintbrush paint vodka. No, kidding.
you could, you really could.
That would be really cool.
But that's, yeah,
That's pro.
yes. Down
I
here,
can't hear the question or the comment.
she was saying, wouldn't it be cool if you could use the paintbrush to paint baka? And you could,
Oh.
that would be in the animate section. So and this is where it gets like more advanced because then you're timing the paintbrush to animate to wiggle like this and then the baka to show up. But it is cool and it is possible. Okay, so that's edit. There's a bunch of stuff in there that again, I rarely use. Then there's background remover, which again, you can get free on another website. Eraser, I've never had to use, but this is more if you have had any experience in graphic design, or I took a class that we had a project where we had to take an animal and put it in clothes. And so I would have to like zoom in on the giraffe's neck and make sure that it, was not overlapping the collar. So it really looked like he was in there. And that's where like the sort of eraser and things like that, more like pixel minded, which some people are and some people are not, and it's up to you if you'd like to get into that. Um, this is more like for a border, but we don't want that here. And same for corner rounding. So like if I did select Baca and I wanted it to be less square, which is not going to work with this because Baca's logo is so taking up so much space within the white square that if it was a little bit shorter, it would work. But I'll just show you anyway. If you drag over, you see how it rounded the corners there? So if you can make that if you wanted. Let's actually continue with elements. This paintbrush isn't doing justice to your education here. So I'm going to show you, that was, remember graphics. Within elements, then there's graphics and all these other things. What is also super simple and super easy to use is shapes. So a lot of times, let's say that I wanted this Mondays and Fridays to stand out more, but I hated the bold and I didn't want to change its font. What I would do is I would go and search rectangle in elements still. And shapes pops up. Again, we still have graphics frames, but you do not want graphics because graphics is what I was going to explain about how some of them you don't change color. Some of the graphics do not let you change the shape as easily as a shape does. So I'll go and click this here. Now this account knows me and knows that I like this color a lot, and so it popped up regularly. Yours might come up white or black. And then I can take this corner. I always go for the corner. I find it easier to just sort of play with that shape, right? So I'm gonna make it about this big, drag it over to the middle, make sure it covers this whole writing. Obviously we can't see it, so I'm gonna show you my gradient colors. I just discovered this a couple months ago and I've had so much fun with it. So I showed you how to find the colors of your logo, right? Or default solid colors. Boring. Okay. We want to go to our default gradient colors, right? They're so like shiny and pretty. I'm going to go to the, let's do this one, white and gray, right? Now, let's say that I'm like, I like it, but I wish the gray was like a hint of pink or something. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to go to this little button here. And you see how it has my gradient colors? I'm going to click that gray because I want to keep the white how it is. I'm going to click that gray and I'm going to bring it over to the little pink. And I'm just going to make it a little pink. Right? Right?
Combination of Illustrator, Microsoft Word, and Photoshop all in one.
For free.
Simple, yeah, simple, the simple parts.
Yeah, I find it so, because I mean, I've used Adobe, Photoshop, and this I just find so simple. And again, I'm not making, a Pixar movie. So like, I don't know if they use Adobe Photoshop, but I'm doing more and very quick things. I don't have time to like sit there and look at the pixels and whatnot. So yes, it's very helpful. And then let's say that I didn't like that it looked like it was getting dark to light, that I wanted that in the middle. I can go back to that color where I just was, and you see how it says style. That'll like show where the light's coming from, basically. And I want it in the middle like that. Cool. Now, back to the element of it, which is that shape, right? And before we had the paintbrush, which was a graphic. I want it to be a little bit transparent, less noticeable. And voila, there we go. Now the edges are still kind of, out there, and we could play with things like that. But what I want to show you is copy style. So let's say you found this paintbrush graphic and you're like, I really love this. And every other graphic looks too like real or childish. Like it's not in this perfect like sort of style that I'm looking for. Let's go look for an element quick. Let's say, what with art supplies we search? I'm gonna go back to that same search, go back to graphics. Yeah.
Now, on the left, the selections under, first you put art supplies, then you
Mhm.
have a whole bunch of selections under there. They're different than what comes up on mine. Is that something that you've created?
Nope, that comes up automatically. So Shapes usually comes up, but because there's no generic shape for art supplies, but if you search circle, square.
Color, orientation, and cutouts comes up.
You see? Oh.
Is this where you're talking about? So I was getting different, all different things.
Yeah,
you're getting a
lot more.
It was
Photos. Oh, because you're in photos.
Oh, okay.
So let's click elements, and then I'm gonna click you out of photos, and now when you search it,
Okay.
it should come up regular, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking ahead, but we've created a document. Does it save it in a format you can just send to friends or?
Yes.
That's what I asked, we gotta.
Yes.
Save as.
Yeah.
How you can print and how heavy it is.
Let's see what time it is. 11:15.
Yes.
Let me finish the element and then I'll show you that because there is a whole every